What is going on, FG3000? Back in the place to be, and welcome to Ezetta Prophecy. So this is, I guess, kind of like a quasi-idle game hero collector. It'll all make sense once we actually jump into combat, but before we do any of that, let's go through a few of the heroes that you can collect. Now, graphically, from a technical standpoint, I think the game looks fine. Yes, I would love for the textures to be like a little higher definition, a little cleaner, but yo, I'm playing Outer Plane right now, so how can I really complain? But as far as the aesthetic and the diversity of the character classes, I think they did a really good job. Yeah, nothing here is like mind-blowingly different, like wow, we have a frost elf, right? Nothing crazy, but I do love the fact that they were willing to do some, lesser seen style of character here, right? You don't really see lion husbandos in games too often, which I'm very, very happy to see. You have some unique weaponry as well, so this is like a twirly squirrel, a twirly squirrel. There you go, real term. This guy over here that's using like some night vision goggles, but has kind of like an Aztecian flair. All these are real words. Don't fact check them. Very, very nice. And of course, dude, on my good side, being willing to think outside of the humanoid box here with a straight up treant. I love that, dude. I love it. Not to mention characters that have mounts as well as pets that they bring along with them in combat. Very cool. So a small cast of characters, but I do think they're all quite high quality. So far so good when it comes to Ezetta Prophecy. So let's go ahead and jump on into gameplay. You can see there are several different gameplay modes. I have everything unlocked except for two things. So we should be able to get a nice kind of idea about what this game is all about. Now, a lot of games have started doing this as of late. Instead of having like, these stage to stage where you go, from node to node to node, 3-star in each one, they're trying to make the world a little bit more immersive, like it actually exists, and it's not just a series of stages, which I do appreciate. Now, when you start comparing this combat system to most idle games out there, a lot of similarities, right? Your heroes will fire off their basic attacks on their own. There's nothing you have to do there. Over time, you're going to build up this little yellow bar under each character. Once you build up enough points, you can then fire off your skills. Now, notice I said skills and not ultimates, right? In most idle games, the only thing that you really have manual control over is your ultimates, but in this game, there's actually quite a bit more to it. So you can see each one of my characters has 3 different skills here. Yes, I can set them on auto, right? So this can be a true auto hands-off experience, or I can set some of these things to not be auto, or I can set up different types of skill chain order, so I can say, you know what, start off with your AoE and finish off with your basic attacks, and I can do that as well. Or there's even more flexibility on top of that. So you can see I have 3 characters here that are all set on auto, but my healer is not set on auto because I want to be the one that controls her heal. So I can have 90% of my team on autoplay, but have my healer actually be played manual. So yes, it could be like a true autoplay idle game experience, but I don't think calling it just an idle game combat system really does it justice, because there's a lot more flexibility and a lot more customization in this combat system versus most games out there. Dude, I'm already out of stamina. For the sake of the YouTube, let's do that. Do a little bit more combat here. Now, one of my beefs, right? Well, I got a few beefs, but one of my major beefs here is that although I love the graphics, I like the aesthetic, I like the diversity of characters, I like this camera angle too. Like this whole behind the back camera angle gets you nice up close and personal with these characters. Yeah, it's their backs, but I love being able to actually see my characters in detail. But what's really missing, in my opinion, is everything else. Like the game has a severe lack of personality. And I think, and I'm not sure, you guys correct me in the comments if I'm wrong here, but I think it's because all of the characters are dead silent. Just listen. So everybody is completely silent in this game. Now I know a lot of you guys out there play these games on mute, but for me, dude, I want to hear something, dude. I want to hear some grunts. I want to hear some yeah. You know what I'm saying? When I get hit, I want to be like, ah. Whoa, FG, what was that? Nothing. Or when someone casts a skill, you know what I'm saying? I want it to be like, brimstone fireball. I don't know, dude. It's just something about the characters speaking and having some type of voice in these games brings it to the next level, right? Before, when it came to gacha games, you can literally just throw out some really cool designs and people would line up to give you money. I don't necessarily think that's the case here in 2023. If you really want to have a successful gacha, I feel you have to make these characters more than just their skills, right? They got to be more than just an ultimate and a cool sword, right? People have to really kind of take to these characters and like them beyond the meta, and that's when you actually start printing money. When people start doing cosplay of your characters and stuff like that, that's when you actually start making real money in these gacha games. And if the characters don't actually have any personality though, it's really hard for people to really care. Once again, back in the day, it wasn't a big problem, dude. Like, you could copy paste a bunch of like Chinese gacha games and make so much money. They used to top the Play Store all the time. Remember that back in the day? Every single like couple of weeks, there used to be like a new copy paste Chinese gacha that was at the highest grossing. That doesn't happen anymore because people only want to spend money on these characters that they actually like, right? And it has to be, once again, has to be more than just their skill and their meta. People are dressing up in all these Hoyoverse characters because they like who they are as actual characters, if that makes sense. So this is what this game is severely lacking, even though most of the game is just fine, right? This is a pretty high quality game. Had this game came out, you know, three or 4 years ago, it'd be an absolute smash hit. But now, standards have gone up, baby. You could have dated me in high school, but now, no way, you know what I'm saying? So with my major beefs out of the way, let's talk about some of the things that I do like about this game. So we talked a little bit about this campaign map. Yes, you can kind of see the nodes here, but I do like the fact that they're trying to make you feel like these characters actually live in this world and this world actually exists. Beyond that, there are little townships on these maps as well. So check this out. So as you defeat enemies in this little small township, you build up a reputation. And as you build up that reputation, you can unlock more and more things that you can buy out of the shop. I haven't really seen that since like MMOs like New World and stuff like that, where you know, spend a lot of time in one area defeating enemies, building up your reputation to unlock more and more goodies. I think that's actually pretty cool, and I would love to see more of that going forward. Now, completely switching gears gameplay wise, let's show you a little extra layer of gameplay that might be a deal breaker for some of you guys out there. So once again, it doesn't really feel like an idle game because there is a lot to do here manually. So there are some puzzle stages here. So we'll go ahead and move this box over there. We'll bounce on over here. We'll grab this treasure chest. There are 2 treasure chests on this stage, so I gotta figure out how to kind of navigate this stage while trying to get all the treasure chests. What do I want to do here? Can I like... Oh, here we go. Dude, I'm about to say this puzzle's about to beat me. No, it ain't. So we'll go over here. I can talk to these slimes, but I found that talking to these NPCs has been pretty optional. Look at those hops, baby. Lara Croft will be proud. And also, while you're doing these puzzles, there's enemy encounters as well. So once again, I definitely wanted to make sure I had this in the video because I know for some people, that's an absolute deal breaker. You know, when you want to play an RPG, you want to play an RPG. And when you want to play a gacha game, you want to play a gacha game. And sometimes those things don't need to intermingle. But in this game, they are definitely intermingled. Just got frozen there. Nice little effect. And once again, I like to keep my little healer on manual here. That way, anytime I need to heal, it's ready to go. Or if I need to use an extra little AoE ability here as well. She has these vines that not only do damage, but they also give health back, which is really handy actually. And then down you go. It takes far too long to unlock ×2 speed, by the way. I just want to throw that out there because I was upset. And I just improved my reputation for the town. Very, very nice. And that's this stage, right? So this is the little puzzle aspect. I think I'm almost done. I'm skipping all the flavor stuff. Let's go ahead and fight this. Ah, do you ain't gonna let me sneak that chest from you? Let me just sneak that chest from you, dude. You don't need that. We'll go ahead and do one little quick boss encounter here. It's not gonna be super hard. I'm level 15. This boss is 16. We should be okay. Go ahead and throw out our little vines here. And like I was kind of talking about a little bit earlier in the video, I do like the fact that we're starting to see more and more games give you the ability to kind of switch out skills in your skill kit. Instead of just having just a bunch of heroes, you have a handful of heroes, so slightly less, but those heroes could do more because you can change their AoEs or their single targets or their damage over times and stuff like that, which I like. It might be a trade-off that some people don't really appreciate, but I think having I think just having like a sea of like nameless characters in gacha games is not necessarily a positive. This is coming from me, dude, Mr. Hero Collector. But I think making the characters more important, giving them more personality, more of a role in the game, in the world, is actually it's a net positive. And in order to really do that, you know, and actually have a gacha game that survives financially, I think the smart thing to do is to allow those handful of characters to do more. So there is our chest there. Thank you very much. And that is pretty much it, I think. Do I have to go back to the, oh, I can move this out of the way. And then I think I can go out the way I came. Very, very nice. And that's GG. 100%ed. You love to see. On to the next part of the ruins, and away we go. Oh, look at the little troll, the lizard man riding on the raptor mount. I like that. We'll look at that a little bit later. So as far as the other gameplay modes, that was the main campaign, right? So the basic just combat and the RPG sections, that is in this. The next gameplay mode is called Side Stage. This is exactly what it sounds like. They're basically side stories that give you just a more, you know, a more focused story experience. Bounty Task is not really a gameplay mode. This is just a nice little quality of life feature to allow you to find the mobs on the map that you can kill to build up your reputation for the towns that you're next to, right? So that's just like a little quick shortcut. Rift, I don't have unlocked, so that's for you, baby. Lost Ruins is your tried and true daily resource grinds. All of these little crystals here will unlock talent trees. Once again, we'll talk about this. I went off on a tangent about these characters for a real reason, because these characters have a lot of investment possibilities, and we'll talk about that soon. Gold, EXP juice, and ascendant materials, very straightforward there. Another gameplay mode that I don't have unlocked, and there's only two, just Rift and Battle of Hyrus. So those are two gameplay modes you can look forward to. You have Dragonfall Treasure, which is your tried and true tower mode, and of course, Twisted Mage, which of course you know what this is. A good old-fashioned labyrinth mode, baby. Why did I press elite? Dude, I ain't elite. But a good old-fashioned labyrinth mode. Defeat these enemies, get buffs, and go as far into this as you possibly can. Oh yeah, we're fine. They're still low level. I'm still level 15, baby. We're good to go. I think the game could also stand to get like a times 3.5 speed as well. Just slightly faster, I think, would be nice. And one thing that, especially in a game like this, it would have worked so well. I don't know if you guys remember when I covered that game V4. That was the first and the last game that I've ever seen that had a battle action cam. And what that means is that the camera is constantly trying to give you the best angle of all of your skills, and it's constantly changing. It's not static, it's not random either. It's a really smart camera that's designed to try to give you the best view of the action no matter what you're doing and no matter what you're fighting. I was hoping to see that a lot more, and no game since V4 has done that, dude. V4 has the best camera angles of any game I've ever played, period. And it's a shame that no one's copied that. But it'd be really nice to just have just a slight, you know, just a little bit more variety in the camera angles instead of this just pan left and right, left and right. Dude, was that thunder? It's about to rain down here in Austin, Texas. I better wrap this video up quick, real quick. Undead element, huh? Huh, I would call that a fire element, but you know what? Maybe the fire is dying. I don't know. But that's that, right? Little maze. Ooh, it's time to restore, which is like a perfect time for me to restore my HP-ness. Got it in. And then last but not least, when it comes to gameplay modes, you do have your tried and true arena. Find someone you can beat up on them. Get currency, buy things out of the shop, very straightforward. So that is basically the game. We talked about this a little bit earlier as far as this being an idle game. Like in all idle games, it does have a little bit of idle functionality. Now this has a lot more customization than you've ever seen in an idle game. So check this out. As you unlock these fairies over time, these fairies actually modify your idleness. So it's not just gold and resources. I have this blockhead fairy that she idles shards for characters that I've unlocked. This one over here is gold, but I can upgrade her to be more effective at gold, more effective at EXP, more shards here, and you can see I can have multiple fairies farming shards for me over time. That's kind of neat, right? This one has Mithril, Harmony Ruin, so all of these little guys, as you unlock them, are gonna help make your idleness more effective and give you a lot more well-rounded goods, which I think is actually pretty cool. So with all that being said, my friends, it's time for a summon. Let that full summon animation play out. This is a beginner banner. So let's see if we can't get anything good out of here. We've already seen the characters. Wait a minute, we've already seen the complete roster of characters. All right, let's just rapid fire this bad boy. Ooh, a legendary. Very nice, and there goes my beginner banner all over, and I don't even have enough to do a standard multi yet, unfortunately. But we did just get a new character, so that's pretty cool. Let's talk about how we power this character. Ooh, nice! Dude, this is like right up my alley. It's trying to get me. Gear, right? Very straightforward. You have a smart gear system here, which I love. So if I'm like, you know what? I got so much gear in my inventory. I just want her to have a lifesteal set. So I can do an auto lifesteal set. I'm just gonna go ahead and do an auto anger set. Replace all, boom, all of that's equipped. You love to see that. Beyond that, you also have weapons as well. So let's go ahead and give her, this kind of reminds me a lot of Outer Plane a little bit. There we go. We'll just go ahead and take that weapon. You're welcome. There's also a weapon banner as well. As far as leveling up, EXP juice, very straightforward. There is a grind stage which allows you to get this EXP quite easily. Your level is quasi-locked behind your account level. So my account level is like 10, but I can upgrade my characters to 15. And then once I'm to like level 15, I can upgrade my characters to like 25. So it's not like 1-to-1, if that makes sense. What else can we do here? We can also upgrade our characters via duplicates. So as we get duplicates, we'll unlock these little activation levels, which give us even more passive stats and abilities. Very, very nice. And then you have these talent trees, which are quite full featured here, my friends. So once again, these are daily resource grinds. I showed you these little crystal drop stages in the game a little bit earlier, but as you do this, you'll unlock even more passive stats and additional abilities. And like I talked about a little bit earlier, you can switch out these abilities and have a character all your own, baby. So my Duchess Grimoire might be using different skills than your Duchess Grimoire. There you go. She looks actually pretty awesome. So let's take her to combat as we end this video. All right, we got our girl in the lineup now, and there's also leadership abilities as well. I'll show you what this looks like really fast. Not every character has a leadership ability, but as long as I have Nox heroes in my team, the whole team gains 75% charge at the start of battle. That is pretty cool. So we definitely want to have at least 2 there. Now my leadership skill is activated. We'll go ahead and bring heals, and we'll go ahead and bring a tank. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on into the final gameplay here in the Endless Tower. I like his weapon stance there. So you see what I mean, right? The game itself is solid, right? There's nothing I really... Oh, I gotta turn my autoplay on. Hold on. Hold on a little bit, you know what I'm saying? Turn everybody's autoplay on. Very, very nice. But like I was saying, the game itself, the core, the framework, everything here is the makings of a really solid quasi-idle game experience. It's quite a good game. I just think that it doesn't have the personality to stand out in a sea of other gacha games. I think that's where it's gonna struggle, and I'm not sure if they're gonna be able to overcome it because this is from a small studio. They don't have a massive budget. They're not gonna be able to market this game out, you know what I mean? So it remains to be seen how this game is gonna do, but you guys let me know how you feel about the game because once again, I know some of you guys just play on mute anyway. So if you guys play on mute, you might love this game, right? So that is it. Once again, my name is FG3000, and I'll see you guys in the next video. I'm out.